It's very nice to be thought of as being pretty, as being, it's a plus. It's nice. It's not terribly important, but it is nice to have it in your favor.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here, and I really appreciate your time. I wanted to come on here and make a quick video. I came across this rapper, content creator, influencer. I don't know, child. What? Everyone's an influencer. Everyone has a moment where they go viral. She made these very interesting comments about Lupita. So I'm not really feeling her. So I really don't have much respect for her, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna play her video, and then I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary.
I feel like y'all just be picking the darkest, ugliest black girl and giving her kudo points for being pretty. And I don't take back what I said. Like, I feel like when it comes to black girls, y'all pick the ugliest woman who is dark skinned. And then y'all just want to be like, oh, she's pretty. No, like, there's dark skinned girls who are really pretty. And y'all gonna attack me and say I'm a bitch. I'm a fucking bitch. I'm racist, which I'm not. But, like, it's just kind of like how y'all been shoving down people's necks with Lupita. And I'm not saying she's like but ugly. I'm not saying that. I just feel like I hate that when it comes to black girl beauty standards, y'all always pick the struggle. Y'all always pick the struggle black girl who can't even compete when it comes to like statistics or standards to be like, that's a pretty bitch. Like, I feel like y'all give brownie points just because a bitch is dark skinned. But I've seen some really dark skinned bad bitches. Like, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm talking about like bad bitch, dark skin. But y'all never want to give the really pretty dark skin. Y'all always pick the fucking mediocre dark skin girl, and then y'all all give her pity points. I feel like y'all be giving pity points for a bitch being dark skinned and pretty. And as a black woman, I'm really offended because like there's really beautiful black girls out there. No makeup, no filter, no nothing, bitch. Me, me. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm 100% real. It's really upsetting. Y'all always just like struggle. Y'all just want struggle to relate. And some bitches are not relatable.
Sure. Like I always say on my channel, anti-blackness is a hell of a thing, right? So if you are not aware of anti-blackness or how it's affecting you or how it's causing particular issues with your mindset, with your perspective, it will cause you to get on it, come onto the internet and say things like this. Now, I understand what she was trying to say. Oftentimes I feel that way whenever they want to do the fake diversity list checking thing they do, and they make a character black for some reason, or they just add a black character for some reason, and they want her to be a double minority, so they'll make her a black woman. They never make her an attractive black woman. She always look weird. Like they never allow black women, when they are in something that is going to have a lot of viewership, concerning the world stage, whether it's a video game property, a television show, a movie franchise. They never know how to select black women that look like attractive black women. So I thought that's maybe where she was going. But the fact that you bring up Lupita as an example of an unattractive black woman that we're all pretending to find attractive, so that already like lets me know that her perspective is warped, and wherever the fuck she's coming from is not anywhere where her and I can meet intellectually. Again, like I always say, depending on what you think is beautiful, what features you admire, what features that you think are ugly, it's going to come out in your insults, how you typically insult people, what it is that you typically say. And so, this notion that we are pretending to like dark-skinned women, or we're pretending specifically to find Lupita Nyong'o attractive, that's a more of a projection, right? So she does not find dark-skinned black women with unambiguous beauty or an unambiguous phenotype attractive. she personally doesn't think they're beautiful. And like I said, there is a conversation that we can absolutely have about the fact that every time they put a black woman somewhere, she got to be ultra masculine. She has to have, she has to have an attitude. She has to be combative. She has to be overweight. She has to have tattoos on her face and have her head shaved. We can never just, you know what I'm saying? That is a conversation, right? They want her to, it's always a certain aesthetic they choose or a certain representation of black women that they choose whenever they want to do, the whole diversity checkboxing thing. Then she goes in to say, people are picking mediocre black women. Again, her reference point is Lupita Nyong'o is mediocre. So she thinks Lupita Nyong'o, Kenyan Mexican gorgeous actress, model, philanthropist, she is unattractive, right? This idea that the average looking black woman is the one that is being picked, and so we're being forced or people are pretending to like black women's features. That may be true. There may be people who, just like with anything else online, people join into certain conversations. They want to feel like they're in the in crowd. So if, you're in a certain space and being openly anti-black or being openly colorist is not acceptable, then you have to pretend like you're all down for all skin tones and all shades, and that's not really true. I'm sure there are people who are absolutely like that, 100%. I could say within the last 5 to 10 years, I do see, like I always say, especially because of social media, how people are able to come online and represent themselves now, how people are able to have their own following, to curate their own aesthetics, and it's not so much reliant on a magazine or a movie or a television show. No, people, the influencers, regular everyday people are the tastemakers nowadays, to an extent. So because people are able to represent themselves, come online, and like how I come online, I represent myself. I have a certain aesthetic. You see me visibly every time you encounter my video, whether it's a picture or you watch one of my videos. You're encountering my chosen aesthetic. You're encountering my representation. That is changing the way people are able to see and view different types of beauty and aesthetics. And so, like I always say, if you are limiting yourself to the BBL bust down girlies, to the surgery girlies, to the frontal every time you see them type girlies, that's going to warp your thinking. As much as we like to just say phrases, like, oh, let black women do what they want to do, and da, da, da. Yeah, great, absolutely, do what you want to do. But if you are limiting yourself to a specific type of beauty standard, that is going to eventually curtail how you feel about yourself. Like I always say, especially if you're not someone who is able to combat media messaging, and that includes social media messaging. If you're not someone who's able to literally spar within your mind without even thinking, like, oh, well, I see what's being presented, but I have my own. Oh, I see what's being presented, but I think this. If you don't have the practice to be able to do that, like the mental fortitude to be able to do that quickly, then you're going to slowly be influenced and changed by what you constantly see and expose yourself to. And it seems like from her perspective, if Lupita Nyong'o is a average mediocre black woman that people are pretending to find attractive, that lets me know that she's watching a bunch of influencers that have done things to their faces, most likely bleach their skin, most likely change their nose, most likely have tummy tucks, lipo, surgery, BBLs, frontal, that whole aesthetic, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that is a certain type of black woman that represents certain types of black women. But if you're not influencing yourself with all of or as much diversity in terms of beauty and beauty standards that you can, you're going to start to think like she does. When you see a black woman and she has, like Lupita, and she has dark skin and her aesthetic is more leaning towards her culture, her aesthetic is leaning more towards, certain non-conventional hairstyles. So she's doing Bantu knots. She's doing literal sculptures with her Afro textured hair versus rocking a 30-inch bust down. If you can't see and appreciate the differences, if you can't see the nuance there, and you see that and go, oh, that's ugly. Why do we have to like this? And oh, why can't she just wear her hair normal? Why can't she just get a weave? Why can't she? If that's how you feel when you see someone like Lupita, you need to broaden your horizons. Like I always say, traveling is expensive, so you can travel on social media. You need to switch up what's influencing you. You need to switch up what you're seeing, what you're consuming. Again, yes, there is a conversation to be had about the types of black women and the stereotypes that the media often uses to hide or misrepresent all black women in terms of all of us across the spectrum, because there's preppy black women, there's alternative black women, there's, anime girlies, there's geeks, there's blurs, there's old money black, like there's beauty queens, there's skincare girlies, there's bohemian girlies, there's earthy black girl. Like, black women are all over the place. We're everywhere. We do everything. Every aesthetic works on us, so we can do all and be all of it, right? But if you're only seeing one kind, this is what happens to you. This is what happens to your brain when your influence is lacking diversity. It's just as simple as that. Because there's no way in the world that you would think Lupita is mediocre. There's no way in the world you would look at her from head to toe. Like, look at her body, look at her skin, the quality of her skin, look at her features, the fact that she speaks like 4 or 5 different languages, and think she's mediocre. Like, are you okay? Are you okay? So, yeah, that's all that is. Yeah, that's all I have to say on the topic. Get below. Let me know what you think. Get in the comment section. All that I ask is that you be respectful. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.